John, as always, thanks for joining us on the midweek catch-up. Let's look back at Saturday's game to begin with, and especially in that first half, a lot more attacking impetus and cutting edge in the final third. Did you feel your formational change allowed us to have that extra bit going forward?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that for the fans, the 500 fans that were there, they would see that. A little bit frustrated and disappointed that it was only 1-0 at half-time. I felt our first half front foot performance deserved more goals. I think Big Joe Hilton and goals for Hamilton had a couple of good saves, but in terms of shots, crosses, playing the game in the opposite opponent's half, very, very good. Second half, sat off it a little bit, sat too deep. Understandable with the position that we're in, we're hanging on, but still had the best chance of the game where they cleared one off the line. I think it was Ryan Dow, a good football move, cut back with Dan Pybus and Ryan Dow on the back post. So yeah, really pleased, and it was important that we got back to winning ways after the shambles of the week before in terms of 5-0 against Morton. So, but that's part and parcel of football. You know, I says that after the Morton game, this either makes us or breaks us, and I think that we had to send out a message that we know where we are, we understand where we are, and don't write us off, we're coming back for more. And that was a asked a lot of questions of them, and I think they answered it.
A player that came back in on Saturday for his final game, Mark Conway, kind of epitomised everything that you're looking for in your team from the weekend. In terms of his last touch for Dunfermline was to put his face in the way of the ball with that last touch of the ball as he blocked the shot coming in. I'm guessing that's the kind of commitment that you'll be telling your players that you're expecting for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 100%, and I think Mark will be missed. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, that kind of centre half. But it's a chance for someone else to step up. You know, we've got Rhys Breen that's coming back for the COVID, and we've got Lewis Martin, a player that all the supporters will know, and I think he's a real good footballer. The problem was with Lewis and Cole Donaldson, no excuses, but we had to fling him in the deep end. I think now that they've got that other game time and another week's training under the belt, they'll be better for it. And the way we train and the standards in which we set. I'll tell you, just for an example, you know, usually you come in on a Monday and it's recovery day on a Monday after Saturday. I find that bizarre. I find that bizarre after playing a game on a Saturday. Know how much you put into it. Sunday's recovery day. Go and recover, spend time with your family. You come back into work on a Monday, be prepared to go and work hard and get the numbers right back up in terms of running distances and what we expect. So, and even if you're suffering on a Monday, keep doing it every Monday. You know why? You'll soon get fitter. You'll soon get fitter, and that's what we're doing, and that's the standards. And even today we've done a lot of fitness testing, and the boys were right up there. So it's the whole thing at what we're trying to do at the club. You know, set a standard and a demand of the players, and I just feel that we're getting there. It's no easy at times. You know, we have to drag one or two with a scruff of the neck, but keep going, keep working hard, and you'll get your rewards on the pitch. And I just feel that that's the way forward.
Last week I spoke to you about how you had plenty of options on the bench if you wanted to change it. In the end you only made the one change with Mark Conway coming in, and you brought Lewis Martin on as your first sub on Saturday as well, the player who had dropped out. Was that the biggest bit of belief you could have shown the 11 players that played against Morton, was the fact that you were willing for them to go back out there and make amends?
Well, first and foremost, I know what the fans would be saying. The fans would be saying after you get, and I would be saying if I was a player not getting a game, if my team got beat for 5, the first thing I'd say, I'll be in that team next week. But you take a lot into account. You look at them, you look at their reaction, you look at their determination on the training pitch. You know, there was a lot says after the game in terms of that will never happen again, or you hope not. But even the best teams, you know, someone sent me a text on a Sunday morning, even the great Liverpool team, Aston Villa beat them, was it 6-2, 7-2? You know, so these days can happen. I'd like to think that we could give a team a bit of going over as well, whereas if we're always on the front foot and keep that performance that we showed in the first half up for 90 minutes. But But yet I have to put my trust in them, and also the way you talk and communicate to them. You know, you get a vibe, you get to know their personality and their character. And there's one or two I could have changed, but I put my trust in them, and I says that. Go out there and show the fans that you care for this club. And the only way you can do that is do your talking on the pitch with a performance, and a winning performance, and I'm delighted that they got that. So, as you say, it was Mark Connolly come back in, and he epitomises everything that we're all about. But, you know, he's moved on, and we knew it was happening 2 or 3 weeks before, and we just need to get on with it. So, you know, we just need to stick together, keep trusting in each other, and it's all about us. You know, we've got the fans back on Saturday, they'll get right behind the team, and it's our job to go and entertain them. And if we entertain them and get on the front foot, you know, and get that kind of performance that we had, first half performance on Saturday against Hamilton, and the performance against Ayr United, then the fans will get right behind us. It's our job to entertain them. So we have to be very, very aggressive in terms of the way we go and play about our football. But saying that, it's also understandable the second half performance when we sat a little bit deep because of the position that we are, and then we have to handle that. That's game management as well, and that's why we changed the shape. Just say, okay, 10 minutes to go, we'll take the 1-0, and we'll sit in there and we'll just play a different style of game for the last 10 minutes on the counter-attack. You know, and I just felt we seen the game out and managed it very, very well.
A lot of the fans on Saturday felt Matty Todd did one of his best games in a power strip, and he's been able to sign a new contract this week for another 2 seasons.
Well, it's important, first and foremost, it's important that Matty Todd, Muller Fenton, Lewis McCann, Paul Allen, they're the lifeblood of the club. They've got to be here for a number of years. That's the lifeblood of the club. It's important that they feel for the club. The local lads, they feel for the club. So it's important, and they've never let themselves down since I've come to the club. Never let themselves down. And as you say, Matty Todd, that's the first full 90 minutes he's had for the first team, and there's more to come. There's more to come from Matty. You know, he's in terms of on his training pitch. I know everybody says, you know, that's where all your work's done. You work hard on the training pitch. All your work, not just putting a strip on and getting a sweat up, you know, in terms of education, where you should be, your positional sense, your passes, know your passes, stay away from it when there's someone else is on it, don't crowd it, and that sort of stuff. You know, so much information for a young boy to take on board. I'll tell you something, he should have scored. He should have scored on Saturday. He should have bagged one right in the bottom corner, right in. So, you know, the next time that chance comes along, make sure that you're scoring. And every day after training, left foot, right foot, and they're all willing. All these young kids that we just mentioned, they don't want to get off the training pitch. They want to stay there, and they want to keep working on their crossing and shooting and finishing. So that's what we want to get to. We want to get to the stage where we're chasing them off the training pitch, because they want to stay behind working on their game. And it's coming, I can see it turning, it's coming. It's coming to the stage now they're embarrassed to walk off the training pitch when they train and say, right, that's us. You know, they're all looking at each other, do we go or do we stay? And thankfully right at this moment in time they're all staying. Why? The only way you get better is practice, in any sport, practice. So, and they're doing that. So once again, that's just another wee example of the demands that we're trying to put on them. I'm a great believer if you do that, it carries itself over onto that pitch, and as you say, Matty Todd's got a massive future in front of him.
In terms of Saturday's game against Inverness, we've picked up 4 points out of 6 against them already this season.
Oh, you've just put a kibosh on it, haven't you?
Well, we need to respect them. The players need to go in knowing that they can pick up a result against them.
Well, 100%, and I feel that's why you're still very optimistic about the season, the rest of the season ahead, because I feel we're more than capable of beating every team we play against. And that goes for Inverness, as you say, 4 points out of 6 against them. But if they've got the ambition to go and win the league, then they have to come to Dunfermline, and they'll not be coming here as underdog mentality. They'll be coming here to go and do a number on us. So we have to know that's what's coming and stand up to it. And that's it, stand up to it. I was a little bit mystified to listen to Big Stan's comments after the game, saying in terms of fouls, we're the most passive team in the league, I feel, you know. And it's about time we started toughening up and getting in about people. And you're allowed to do that. That's part and parcel of football. You're still allowed to tackle, and you're still allowed to go toe to toe with people and work them. And that's what a lot of the stuff that we've been working on the training pitch as well. So it's great to see that, you know, coming on a Saturday and the boys implementing a lot of the stuff that we've been working on. And if you keep doing that, I think that Inverness certainly coming here will know they're in for a game.
In terms of team news, where are we at with guys like Rhys Breen, Graham Dorrans, Dom Thomas and Ian Wilson?
Graham Dorrans just come back last Friday and it was a little bit much for him to put him right back in. We're still watching Rhys Breen and Muller Fenton still off with the COVID. Rhys Breen and Graham for the COVID in terms of reaction after a hard day's training, rest, all that stuff. So, you know, but they're still training away, so the two of them will be there or thereabouts Saturday. In terms of Don Thomas, him and Ian Wilson's doing a lot of running. You know, they just seem to be running constantly, but today it was more dynamic stuff, short, sharp stuff, back on the ball, so they'll not be too far away. You're talking about maybe another couple of weeks. And then in terms of, I'm just trying to think who else. In terms of injuries, not picked up anything from the weekend, and everybody ready to go.
And just finally, in terms of transfers in and out, anything you could update us on?
Yeah, I will. We're a little bit frustrated and like the window is, tough window, that one or two's no come our way, but you know, the strategy that we put in place was a very good strategy. It's not just a case of that's our number one, that's our number two. No, that's our two number ones, that's our two number in that position. So, you know, you're spinning the plates and it's a case of who comes first. As you say, everybody knows there's been a lot of players left. I think there's 4 or 5 players left at the club. That generates a little bit of money to go and try and get 1 or 2 in. And I'm hoping that we might have 1 or 2 new faces for Saturday, but I was thinking that last week as well. And we just need to keep working away at it. It doesn't mean to say that, you know, we've had trialists in. We've had a couple of trialists in last week, we've had a couple in this week. And they're doing okay. Yeah, they're doing okay, but are they better than what we've got? That's what we have to weigh up. And what was our strategy and our way going forward? But, you know, we're still working away to get 1 or 2 in, and hopefully, as I say, fingers crossed, we might have 1 for Saturday's match.
And in terms of the outs,
you're meant to ask the next question, will they go right in?
And in terms of the outs, Mark Conway we've spoken about, but Craig Clyton's went out on loan as well.
Yeah, Wiggy was I felt Wiggy's pain and his frustration, you know, training away, working hard on the training pitch, sort of realising that our shape at what we're playing, he wasn't going to be much involved. I've seen his frustration, and our both come in for him, and he just felt he's been here before. He felt he would get regular football, and we're not going to stand in his way. And once again, it might free up a little bit of money for us to go and I feel get a position in the team that is maybe more important than the position that Craig plays.